I was exposed to porn at a very young age. And this sent me into a downward spiral of degeneracy, addiction, and consumption. At first, I didn't think it was a problem until I started battling this addiction I didn't even know existed. It got to the point where my self-image and confidence was completely destroyed, and I couldn't bear to look at myself in the mirror. One day I stumbled upon a nofap video. Now at the time I thought it was weird because no one had ever talked bad about fapping. Everyone in my friend circle did it, and they were always talking about how good it felt, and it did feel good, but I didn't know the downsides of it. And when I saw the video, I finally started recognizing the pattern and the self-esteem problems I had been battling for many years. So I finally decided to take it upon myself, to take upon this journey of nofap. When my journey started, it was very rough, and I kept relapsing. But as I grew, I also learned. I learned many ways to suppress this feeling, or not suppress, but use this feeling towards something better. And I can finally now say I'm free from porn. That is also why I'm making this video, to hopefully help some of you guys that are struggling with the same problems I struggled with. So when you're fapping, or wanking, or jerking off, whatever you want to call it, you're wasting your manly hormone, your testosterone. There's a huge drop in testosterone, and it's not bullshit, I'm just saying. These are actually studies, you can go look it up yourself. So what happens is a hormone called prolactin increases after you ejaculate. This stunts your test release, and your test production is basically set on a pause. Now this is only one of the few problems that comes with jerking off and watching porn. The other one is your dopamine. Your dopamine is your feel-good hormone. It's what makes you addicted. So when you ejaculate, there's a huge increase in your dopamine. But how dopamine works, if it goes up, it also crashes double as far down. And this is some of you guys would call post-nut clarity. You basically feel unmotivated, you feel depressed, and it's just not a great feeling in general. Now when you jerk off, you're giving energy off to someone else. You're literally wasting your own children on someone else, on a screen, on pixels. Your dopamine is going through the roof, and after a while you even deplete your dopamine system, just like a drug addict. It's not much better than a drug addict. It's very bad. But there are a lot of ways you can quit porn, and I'm not gonna tell you what is right or wrong. I'm not gonna be like all the other YouTubers who say do this, do that, and you're gonna be good, because that's not how it works. You have to find your own way of doing things and start thinking critically for yourself. I can only tell you what helped me, and hopefully inspire you guys to try to do some of the stuff I did. So one of the most helpful things that helped me was to try to recognize some patterns. What is triggering you to wanna jerk off? What is making you horny? For example, when you go on Insta and scroll. Oh, so basically Instagram is like a pre-game lobby for Pornhub. All these naked women you follow triggering you into being horny, and what happens after you already know. And you can probably relate to it yourself. As a matter of fact, I want you to go and follow all ladies. Not the ones you know, of course, but all models. Go and follow them right now. There's no use for it. They're literally just making you fall into this trap of relapsing again and again and again. So go do it right now. Pause the video, go do it. What I noticed is when I was laying in bed just scrolling or something like that, I would of course stumble onto some women on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Now this triggered me into going further with it and going into you know what sites. And that kept happening a lot, and I didn't even notice it in the beginning. But when I started really to focus on the patterns, I could see that that's where I went wrong. I started to break these patterns, like when I was laying in bed, I thought to myself, let me just do some push-ups, or let me go do something productive instead. So I knew I wouldn't get this feeling and this pattern wouldn't be recreated. So what you should try to do is try to break these patterns that triggers you into relapsing. Also, it's very important to know that of course you're gonna relapse. It's years of addiction. Don't blame yourself and fall into the hole again if you relapse once or twice or 3 times. It doesn't matter, as long as you keep trying. And what I did is I tried to hold on for 1 day at a time. So let's say you hold a week and you relapse. Try holding for a week and a day. It's not a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot, but in the end it's gonna help you a lot. If you try to just do it immediately and just quit porn, you're not gonna do it. Your brain is addicted. It's an addiction. You're not just gonna be able to quit it like that. So take it slow, don't rush it, and everything will be good. Another thing I did was to change my self-image, because your brain and your thoughts are impacting you a lot. Everything you think. If you think you're having a bad day, the chances of you having a bad day are actually far greater than if you think you're having a good day. In the way of viewing myself as someone who just doesn't wank. Not someone who's on nofap. No, that's not right. Just someone who just doesn't do it. So what I would do when people ask me if I was on nofap, I would just straight up answer them, no, I'm not. But I'm also not fapping. I'm just not doing it because this triggers into your brain. So what helped me a lot is just seeing myself as someone who just doesn't do it. I don't know what it is. I've never heard of it, because that actually helped. And as I said before, just keep trying. At some point, if you try hard enough and if you want it hard enough, you will succeed. But remember, friends, stay uncomfortable. See you on the next one.